When burning cash for customer discounts, Joe's headache throbs, and Katherine, busy as a headless chicken, finds her efforts futile. That night, she sent out a distress signal to Joe, indicating that she was utterly exhausted, and it seemed that this time she was particularly helpless as she was waving a design of a book with a flower on it. Normally, Joe might wonder why Katherine mirrored her so closely, like a twin horror film. But now her mind was filled with tension from netizens kicking all thoughts away. Worried he looked like a gas tank, she brought a friend as her advance team for table 8. A deep red rose was tucked in the book. Based on the coat, the man locked onto the target. Did you see her? Yes, she's stunning. I knew she'd be like this. It can't be her. With a complicated look, the man interrupted Joe's excitement, and after struggling, blurted out Katherine's name. She rushed to the door to confirm the scene personally, pausing for a moment before reluctantly accepting the reality. Initially wanting to walk away, she thought, why not take the chance to mess with the other person a bit and release some pent-up feeling? What followed was that opening scene, with Joe sitting across like a rock, refusing to budge, while Katherine had no great tricks up her sleeve. At first, she pleaded pitifully until patience ran out and anger surged, usually at a loss for words. Every single word she spoke struck Joe deep in his emotions, even if those words were filled with insults. When someone said her creations were a joke, her heart still felt the sting. After waiting ages for her online friend, Katherine felt defeated and booted up her computer as soon as she got home. But she didn't receive any explanations. That morning, she arrived at the bookstore as usual, and the staff were buzzing with curiosity. So how did last night's date actually pan out? They inquired. I have a feeling something serious happened that he couldn't handle. What was it? He lifted you. Maybe it had something to do with vehicles. Those vehicle owners are crazy. Katherine excused her online friend, but the friend's reaction was totally different. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Her hair is just chilling. Though Joe said that, once she got home and saw the email from Katherine, her heart was in a frenzy like a storm. I'm not complaining about my actions, but I really want to say, I hope you didn't have any good reason for being home last night. You're not the type to do something like this. Joe, heavy-hearted over Katherine's words the night before, was touched by her message like riding a roller coaster. Katherine's kindness and sincerity gradually chipped away at Joe's misunderstandings and biases, and for days afterward, one question lingered in his mind. Should I reply to Katherine? If I do, should I be honest about the truth and my identity, or use a lie to cover it up? After much inner turmoil and struggle, Joe finally decided to speak the truth while keeping her identity hidden. Please forgive me for missing our meeting that night. I had undisclosed reasons. I'll explain if there's a chance. You were harsh to your business rival because they provoked you first, so don't take it too personally. Katherine felt a little comforted by Joe's words, but also realized she couldn't compete with Fox Books. Continuing would only lead to bankruptcy. Katherine couldn't imagine a worse ending. She marked all the books down to sell, apologizing to loyal customers for her best effort. Those books flew off the shelves at those tempting prices, and the once bustling bookstore now felt eerily empty. A bitter feeling swept over Katherine like an ocean breeze as she aimlessly wandered. Fox Books, founded by Joe, came into view. Curious yet unwilling, she stepped inside, taking everything in. But everything faded in her eyes like a mirage, and the last shred of her stubbornness disappeared. From the size of the space to the number of staff and the convenience for customers, it all dawned on her perhaps this was the shift of the times. News of the bookstore's closure spread quickly. Joe couldn't resist rushing to offer condolences. But when Katherine heard it was her, she didn't bother to engage, claiming she was sick and couldn't meet anyone. To render the lie even more convincing, she deliberately pretended to sneeze several times. However, Joe saw straight through her act, and very shortly thereafter, the knock at the door completely shattered her carefully constructed facade. Glancing through a crack to see who it was, she hurriedly tidied up the table, not wanting Joe to see how disheveled she was. Katherine never imagined her fib would be Joe's reason to visit. You locked me out. Yes, I did. Are you here to throw stones at me? No, realizing that Joe wasn't there to throw stones, Katherine didn't chase her away. In fact, after that night's visit to the bookstore, she had lost her resentment toward Joe. Reform and innovation were inevitable. The inability to survive was ultimately her issue, and had nothing to do with others. Putting aside her grievances with Joe, the relationship wasn't close enough for a visit, so she was curious about Joe's reason for coming. I would really like to be considered as your friend. I know that's impossible, but sometimes people just want to see the impossible. Joe immediately tossed out a topic that piqued Katherine's interest. What happened with that guy in the coffee shop?